What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no-obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? How you doing this week? Welcome back to episode 104. Today is, I know it was officially fall as of last week, but it's October 1st, and it's definitely, officially fall. Like September can kind of be fall adjacent. October comes and it's not that I'm a pumpkin spice latte guy, but it's now I'm okay with seeing pumpkin stuff and corn stalks and those kind of things. So welcome to October again, episode 104 coming at you. Let's go through our week this week. Yesterday, the 30th, Mike took on the par 5 10th hole at Pinehurst number 6. Head over to the Instagram, YouTube. Go see what Magic Mike did yesterday on his Mike Verse. Today, Tuesday the 1st, you got Mike and I on YouTube. We got the video version on YouTube. You can head over there, subscribe, and follow along. You can listen wherever you get podcasts, but this is episode 104, Tuesday, October 4th. Tomorrow, Ryan's Verse. Again, I said it last week, trying not to go 2 weeks without getting something, but a little bit of a dry spell here of playing some golf, but there might be something in the works. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to check it out on Wednesday this week, see what we can get out to you. Thursday this week, though, this is the big one, Mike. We were able to talk to a former Korn Ferry Tour star, a New Jersey native, Max Grazerman. Family friend of the show, I guess we should say. We had his brother Reed on after winning the Open this year. The AM. I said Open, and I guess that implies British Open, but yeah, the New Jersey Amateur. We were able to get Max on. We've kind of been talking to Max for a while. We couldn't make it work last year at the Korn Ferry Tour. When I went and I sat down with Ryan McCormick, we weren't able to catch up with Max then, and he's been busy, and he's, quite frankly, has had a great season, finishing inside the top 50 of the FedEx Cup for this year. So he's really been doing the thing, and it's been a long time for us, long time coming, and Mike, it was really cool to sit down with Max and have that conversation. It was. Again, a long time coming, but we had a lot of things to do. He was genuinely apologetic for being so busy that he hasn't been able to make the time and come on, which I thought was great. He doesn't really need to be apologetic for playing great professional golf, but it was really cool to have him on, and that was great. So Max Grazerman, PGA professional. Tour player, and that's coming out Thursday this week, October 3rd. And then Friday, you know what we do on Fridays, Freaky Fun Friday. So whatever we got coming out. So that's kind of our weekly recap here, preview review for this week.
I like that.
Yeah, quick, simple. We got Max, big one this week. Mike, I'm going to throw it right to you right away. Sometimes we kind of like to bounce through some quick things. You on this sheet, sneakily behind my back, went and added a few things that are rather tease worthy. So why don't you take the reins here? Tell me what you got in the ace up your sleeve here. What we got?
Well, real quick before I go down that path, I do know you and I are basketball guys, and we got to, unfortunately, some sad news in the
Oh yeah,
NBA. The man, the myth, the legend, Dikembe Mutombo with the finger waving did pass away of brain cancer, and I know that you and I are basketball junkies at heart, and
yeah,
I saw that, and I said we have to just throw that out there, knowing that you and I, we used to shoot the rock a little bit here.
yeah.
Now we're trying to putt the ball, and that's not going too well. But
Trying to roll
anyway,
the rock instead of shoot the rock.
yeah, neither
That
one's
was
going
sad
really
news. I
well.
didn't know he was sick, Mike. When I saw that, I didn't know that it was kept under wraps. I think so.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Dikembe
Yeah.
Mutombo. But here's what I got here. I know a lot of people behind the scenes have reached out through DMs and texts and like, do you have this? We'd like to get a t-shirt. We had some going a little bit for a while, but we are working on a drop podcast store where this store will be open 24/7. It's t-shirts. I'm looking at possibly trucker hats. I'm talking long sleeves. I'm talking sweatshirts, all designed with our logos on them in all different colors. Um, it's going to be one of those things that like you buy it, it's going to be shipped out to you instantly. It's not one of those things that it's pre-orders. It's going to be round the clock. You order at 12 o'clock, the order will be received, be shipped out. You'll get it probably within a day or two. And it's one of those things that I know that when we're talking about the evolution of what we're doing here and trying to get things out there, our golf balls have been out there. There's ball markers. I see stickers all over the place. We've teased the idea of maybe getting some, something outside of a polo, and it's gotten to the point where now we think the demand is there. I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered, I don't think I am in that category. So this store is going to be open. I will push it once I think everything's finalized. We're just working on a few extra colors here, maybe adding a different shirt here or there. But this will be online more or less before you know it. It's not one of those things that you'll hear me say and then I'm not going to speak about it for 2 weeks. This is something that I wouldn't be surprised that if I can find the time that I have done within a week to have this thing out there,
It's eminent.
active, live. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good thing. And it's all on our own little website. It's our own little website that people go on. It's all going to be right there. It's like a one-stop shop, which is right up my alley.
Yeah, that's huge. I love that. Again, Mike, you and I have talked about this even just for ourselves. Like I personally want more gear. I would like a sweatshirt, kind of like I'm wearing now, like a long sleeve hoodie, like a lightweight sweatshirt, hats. I'm a hat guy, and I've been pushing for a hat. But it takes a lot of work and finding the right people to work with, the right that's right for both of us, both not just with price, but a person, a company, what have you, that could fulfill orders like we want it to, or like we foresee it to. So it does take a bunch of work, and again, I've been saying for Mike, even just for us, like can we buy 10 sweatshirts for you, me, and like our families, just so like I can have some more gear, right? But this is great. I mean, Mike's been working hard on this behind the scenes. He's kept me in the loop. I love what you got so far, and I'm really excited to see this. So,
Yeah, and
so
the one
super
thing I
excited. Yeah,
really the one of the things that, I was kind of, I wouldn't say pushing, but asking for it was the website. I wanted our own little website of the Drop Podcast, our logo. It says where we're talking golfing in the Garden State. Like it's our like identity. You click it, it's us. You see the different items that you have there, the different colors with the different logos on each of the shirts. So I think it's going to be one of those things that like I know the people that have reached out will grab stuff, and I know there'll be many others that'll see it, like it, and then get some themselves. So stay tuned for that.
and I'd say this, Mike, you and I both like quality. It's about we're not just gonna get some BS kind of thing that we don't like, or that we want a store, we want, so we don't care what the product is. You and I are both the feel and product guys, so we want to make sure it's done right, as well, maybe first and foremost. So,
Yep.
um,
100%. So stay tuned for that. That'll be out there before you know it. The next announcement I got here is this. I know that I thought what we did, as at least that's what I've been told from the caddies, from participants, from players, from followers, how we previewed all the NJSGA majors, and the feedback we received along with them was nothing short of positive. Well, I got another announcement here. We are going to partner with the MGA for the 40, excuse me, I want to make sure I get this right. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I get all my ducks in a row with this because I don't want to butcher this. We're going to partner with the MGA for the 18th annual Mid-Am Championship at none other than Manasquan River Golf Club, baby. Listen, I know people may say, oh, here we go again. It's Manasquan River front and center. But listen, we did it with the event they had at Somerset Hills. This is just another thing that I think that we're doing that people see on a different level. The NJSGA is more state, New Jersey, that's here. The MGA is a little bigger. And I'm not saying it's better, but I'm saying it's more competitive and it's right here in our neck of the woods. So what we're going to do with them is since we're partnering with them, next Thursday we're going to sit down with head golf professional Chris Dimmick, and we're going to preview holes 1 through 18 about how they are going to set up the golf course for the Mid-Am at Manasquan River for the MJ participants. That starts that following Monday. So it's another big thing for us. You know, we talked to Brian Mahoney, who's the CEO of the MJ, and I kind of pitched him. This is what we did with the NJSGA. It was nothing short of positive in terms of the feedback. What do you think about us doing that with you? You know, we'll preview it. You guys can push it in all your previews, whether it's online, whether it's through social media. And he loved it. He loved it. So another exciting thing for us when you're talking about like partnering with the right people, pushing what we think is the best state in the country when it comes to golfing. And this is just another example of that.
love it. It's really been a whirlwind, Mike. It really has. And again, you said people might, say, "Oh, Manasquan, it's our home course or your home course." I mean, mine. It's not my home course, but you've played there. We've talked about it before. But if you go back and remember when we had Chris on, they talked about like this is Manasquan's um, like board is now more open to them being more of a public in the public eye. We talked about them getting rated for like top golf courses in New Jersey. Like, why isn't Manasquan on there? Well, the board didn't want to have the raters come, so it's tough to get ratings when you don't play the course, right? So this is just another step in that direction for them that they're willing to host an event like this and really showcase their course. And so it just kind of is fortuitous for us that it just happens to be that course and the connections we have there. And knowing Chris as well as we do, as well as you do, and obviously knowing some guys there. I'd imagine, is Austin old enough to play in it? No. So I was going to say, and having Austin be in it, but if he's not old enough, he can't play in it. It's just it just happens to be fortuitous, and it's really exciting for us that we're able to build this partnership. Well, hopefully it'll grow and blossom, and do more events next year and the years after that, and hopefully it's something that again is something that grows and prospers, because I think we got something really good here in what we have with these partnerships, and hopefully they just continue to grow.
Yeah, listen, it's a fun time and it's a good time. And I think, if we keep delivering the product, I think, people are going to want to partner and we'll do the same. Are you looking for the perfect place to host the wedding of your dreams? Or maybe your company is looking to host an unforgettable holiday party with the beautiful backdrop of a golf course? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Then you need to visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway, Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. Book your special day in their recently updated banquet space and enjoy the wonderful scenery on the golf course during your on site ceremony. You could also host your holiday party in the formal ballroom or in the casual setting of the Hill Tavern Bar and Grill. the Gastro Pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly. Their catering teams consistently win awards each year from the Knot and Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. Don't forget, golf never stops at Galloping Hill either. Open all year round. Go enjoy the course on those nice days in the winter and hang out in the tavern after your round. The fun never stops at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
Like last week, we had a banger interview.
Yeah, let me tell you about this
Yeah.
real quick. And I'll be quick here before we get into things, but I think if you don't know, I'm a big numbers guy. I'm not sure if we've gone over that yet through 103 episodes, but
What?
yeah, breaking news. You might want to put that out there, like
Oh
dun, dun,
my
dun,
gosh.
dun. I'm a big numbers guy, and I can't lie about the Scott Fawcett interview. First off, I knew, and you and I both talked about this off air, that this was going to be a very good one because
Mhm.
it touched on all different things: the very good golfer, the average golfer, the analytic golfer, the everyday golfer. They're all different types. And after just 48 hours of this thing being released, now I know it's been a little longer now, but after Thursday and after Friday, I'm a big numbers guy. I go back and check. That thing alone in 2 days had well over 500 plays on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, which for us, some people may say, well, that's nothing. Well, for us in a 48-hour span, that's pretty damn good. Because as you look at it a week later, obviously people continue to listen. But you know, in that first 48 hours, I know at least if it's going to be a hit or it's not. Well, let me tell you what, if you have not listened to the Scott Fawcett interview and you want to be educated a little bit on course management, you need to stop, go back, listen to Scott Fawcett, because even the DMs that I received from our listeners saying, I absolutely love that interview. I know it's not always golfing in the Garden State, but I felt like I learned something from that. And obviously, when you're talking about what we're trying to do is highlight things, all things here. But if I can find ways to educate you, to make you become a better golfer, man, isn't that sounds like a little bit of a home run to me. So if you haven't checked out Scott Fawcett's interview from last Thursday, you need to go back and listen to that.
Uh, Mike, you said it all. It was from stem to stern. It was awesome. He was incredible. He really was. He's a big name in golf. Like we were kind of talking about how what's his reach like, and I think a lot of people know the name Scott Fawcett, and I think even more people know the name Decade Golf, or at least have heard of something about uh, course management analytics, and I think that he's the grandfather of that. So yeah, if you haven't, go check it out. Let's keep going with some of these check marks, Mike. The South Jersey Cup registration for the final NJSGA closes a little later this month, August. I'm sorry, August, October
I
21st.
wish. I wish it was August.
This is big news because the fall finale here is at, or the South Jersey Cup, I should say, is at Ballamor, which we haven't really talked about much this summer, but we talked about it quite a bit. You loved it, got to play it. I went down. I made the trek down from where I live. It was an hour and a half away, but well worth it. It was a great track. I really had a great time playing it. It was really excellent. So that's why it's got some coolness there for us. So South Jersey Cup is going to be played at Ballamor. Registration closes the 21st here. Well, Hurricane Irene just passed. Is it Irene? Yeah.
Helene.
Helene. Hurricane Helene. Irene was a different one. Hurricane Helene just passed, and it did some damage to different places all over the country, and obviously thoughts, prayers. People lost loved ones. There's flooding. I know that there's places that still don't have power as of us recording this, Mike. So obviously a lot of I don't want to discredit all the sadness and devastation that's happened there. But obviously, we're talking golf, and we should talk about the mecca of golf, really. Augusta National took some damage. It went right through. I think I saw that Augusta Airport had like 96, like a recorded wind gust of 96 miles an hour. That's a lot. So it took some damage. Trees down, and there's some major stuff. So Fred Ridley put out a statement, Mike. I didn't read it. I just saw kind of the headline to it. Do you know where the exact damage was? That I didn't get to see. I just saw that
So
they're
some of the things that I had seen is dozens of trees were down on the entryway when you're coming down Magnolia Lane, like on
oh,
two sides, like all just fallen over, along with some parking areas. But I thought Magnolia Lane is the one spot where it's like, wow, like,
those trees are iconically there. Yeah.
oh my God, it's like the talk everybody says when you're just going down that street. So like, for those to be fallen, I just kind of thought it was like, man, that's kind of a sentimental thing that it was just kind of shocking. You've seen some pictures on, Eureka Earth on Twitter that shows like some more banged up areas, but I always got to think about Augusta. They do things differently. Like trees are down, but then tomorrow somehow magically they reappear.
They
So
have a farm of magnolias that they
yeah,
are just
so
going to get. One truck is going to go there. It's picking it up, roots and all, whole
yep,
system, and just they're going to replant it. There's no
plop it
doubt in
back
my
in.
mind. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I say this with a sad heart that, like, again, to your point of like, yes, obviously there's bigger things going on than golf that Helene did damage to, but I won't be surprised come April of 2025 that everything looks identical.
I will say the one headline I read made it seem like a gut like Masters looming in April or whatever it said made it seem like they're not playing the Masters. It's like first off, a tornado could rip through there April 15th. They're still playing the Masters on the 28th because they have crews, they have the money, they got their that course will be in pristine shape in a day and a half. And like I said, a tornado could rip through every hole, not think twice about it. So I think that they're fine to play the Masters. But some damage is news there. PPC recap, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, some of those things I put on the sheet for you, like, listen, we don't need to hit on them all.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
started like rambling on some things. I was just hot with the typewriter and
well,
started typing.
I mean, some of our guys, Brent Studer, Brian Gaffney, both played in the PPC.
Yeah. They played
Right?
really well.
They really did. There was a time there where they were both. Were they
Gaffney was
both
leading
in?
at one point.
Gaffney was leading at one point, but I think both of them were in. Early on. Golf's hard. It happens, but Brent didn't make it. Brian's the fifth alternate. Did I
Yep.
remember that correctly?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you got to have some things happen to get. If you're first alternate, second alternate, I'd say you might have a shot, but fifth alternate seems like a lot. So, yeah, again, really cool that they're able to get there. I mean, that's going back to the Open that you and I, or the PGA event that you and I got to play in the Pro-Am at Echo Lake. Those guys went on from there to play in the PPC. So this is their major. This is the biggest thing that they play for. So out of all the pros in the country that got there, for Gaffney to be in fifth alternate spot, it's top 20, right? So basically he's 25th.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what the numbers were. I just kind of looked at the final results and saw he was fifth alternate, and which meant I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that meant that him and Brent did not play a good final round. So I
Yeah.
specifically went to the final rounds, and neither one played
Yeah.
probably up to their par.
Oh, nice. Does that imply they were over par?
Didn't say that.
It was definitely. I feel like I remember either Chris Bauer or Chris Dimmick when we played with him saying that it's the top 20 that of the pros from the PPC that go on to the PGA. But maybe I was wrong there. But again, if he's fifth, I would imagine he's 25th out of
Well, I think it was
150 golfers that would probably play the PPC.
I think it was top 11 from the state stuff, and then they move on.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm talking about
top
the
20.
PPC.
Yeah,
I think it
you
was
might be
top
right.
20
Yeah,
from the PPC.
yeah, you might be
Yeah, I
right.
didn't mean from the Echo Lake. For ours was
Yeah.
at Echo Lake this year.
Yep.
So good. I mean, again, it's tough. Golf's one of those funny things where it's like, good job by them. You didn't qualify. It's kind of tough to say, but it really is to come in top. Gaffney to be essentially the top 25 pro in America, playing pro in America, is a big deal. For Studer,
I know
to
they
be
make it
there.
mad at me for saying this, but do we need to put the asterisk of senior? They were, top 25 senior. I know they're going to get mad at me. I know Gaffney and Studer may blow my phone up right now for saying senior, but it was the senior PPC. So to your point, yes, he's top 25 senior.
Okay. Well, I was going to leave that out, but
Yeah.
you want to rain on their parades.
No,
That's
listen,
fine.
keep the phone lines. Phone might get disconnected after this episode, so I don't really know if you hear a lot of. Listen, phone got disconnected.
I still think it's quite an accomplishment. You're talking about, again, not having great final days, but really golf's funny like that. Like, you can have a great accomplishment while still not getting to a goal that you had. Both can be true, I think. So good for them. Sorry you didn't make it, but again, good showings. It's really, again, impressive just to get there. Tour championship of the Corn Ferry Tour, Mike.
Yeah, I did do some research here.
Okay, give me to me.
John Pack. I kind of butchered the last name at times, so I do.
When
apologize.
he comes on, he'll correct us.
Yeah, he will. So obviously, the top 30 get their cards for next year. John's currently sitting at 19. As of this, going into this final tournament, only the top 17 are guaranteed where they are on the points list to get in. Which means since he's 19, he's not guaranteed that he's in.
Okay.
I gotta say the odds are ever in his favor.
Right. Don't finish DFL and you're in, right?
Right. So I did want to say, because I was curious, I'm like, well, he's 19. He may already be tour bound. Like, he may already have that spot locked up. But I checked, only the top 17 have it locked up.
Okay.
So we need we need him to make the cut. I think if he makes the cut, it's a signed, sealed, delivered deal that we're just adding to the PGA Tour of another New Jersey guy.
Yeah. Just killing it. John, good luck. Again, when you make it, coming on, we'll chat about it. Let's hear the story. And then we're back in action on the PGA Tour this week, Mike. We had the President's Cup, which I do want to get to in just a second. But let's talk about our guys. We had Chris and Ryan are back in the field this week. It is the Sanderson Sisters Farm Championship. Oh, no, just Sanderson. Mike, you're not a movie guy. The Sanderson sisters are from. I can't believe that you don't know this movie. And why am I blanking on the name now?
I love this.
Halloween.
I love this. Love this.
What's the name of that movie? This is great radio. Sanderson Sisters. Hocus Pocus. Why couldn't I think of that? You've never seen Hocus Pocus?
Maybe bits and pieces.
Okay, you should watch it. You got with the kids. Watch it with the kids. They would like it. It's a nice movie. Anyway, the Sanderson sisters are
we have a ton of free time just to be sitting around watching movies. But no, listen, go ahead, figure it out.
The Sanderson sisters are from there. Anyway, the Sanderson Farms Championship is this week. Chris is back in action. Ryan's back in action. We've kind of talked. I mean, Ryan's got to make moves. It's without a doubt. He's outside of the top 125 there. Chris is inside the top 125. So right now he's got his card for next year. But obviously you want to make moves to try to get into, to shuffle into those different positions, because, there's going to be guys that are in Ryan's shoes that are trying to gain as well. So they're going to try to jump, and Chris doesn't want to be one of those guys that gets Wally Pipp's not the right one, but something where he gets taken from him when he could be playing good golf. So they're back in action as well. And then obviously we got some more fall events there. So we got that going. Mike, do you want to start apologizing to me for being smarter than you at golf, or do you want me to brag and boast? How would you like this next part to go?
Yeah, listen, when you go on a limb sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. I do want to say, if we were going to have a segment of where Mike was right and where Mike was wrong, if we want to have a segment like that, there were some things, if you date back to last Tuesday, that I was right about. Like Brian Harmon, awful. Should never have made the team. Okay?
Okay, if you want to talk about little winning battles, that's right. But I want to talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I can't lie. Don't tell me you weren't crapping your pants a little bit after Friday's 5-0.
I'll tell you, I felt real good after day one. I did not feel so good after day two.
I was after day one. I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be a terrible President's Cup." And then
I thought they might have 20+ points after day one.
And I was like, all right, okay, now they're 5-0. Here we go. Then they came back 5-5, and I was like, all right, we got ourselves a game here. But I think just like anything, the American team is strong. Xander Schauffele's a beast. Scotty Scheffler is a beast. Like Keegan Bradley winning the whole damn thing, but securing the final point. Like they
You and I
played
were texting
well.
about that. That was so cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's fitting. It's like
yeah.
Disney movie,
Hmm.
you know. But listen, I got to give credit where credit's due. I went on a limb, said Minwoo Lee was going to be the unsung hero of the international team. He was not. Um, and the reality is that the big guns on the Americans played phenomenal. They did. Xander was a stud. Scotty was a stud. Keegan played well. I even thought Sahith played really well. I
Hmm.
did. I kind of liked what Sahith had going on. Um, listen,
Did you
and I
see his?
killed.
Did you see the thing he said about the reversals? I thought
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Just please don't cancel me because
Well,
it sounded dirty. It sounded bad.
and I'll tell you what, I killed Russell Henley. I killed him. He's terrible. Why are we picking a guy like Russell? Dude goes 3-1. Dude went 3-1. Listen.
What was he, 14th in the world? I mean, he
Yes.
got automatic bid, not even like a.
Yeah. Sometimes I listen. I got to eat my words here. I was wrong. I don't know what to say. Even Sam Burns showed up, and Sam Burns did not play well in the Ryder Cup last year.
Mhm.
So like these guys came to play. I think it gets to the point with the President's Cup is this. Nobody wants to be on that team that eventually loses to the international team because they've won so many times in a row. I think now this is like 10 or 11 years of whatever they've done it. And you don't want to be on that team or frankly captain that team. And I think those guys kind of rose to the occasion, played really well, and frankly, listen, they got the job done. I can't say anything other than I was wrong and you were right. But I will say this. I will say this. We need to do something to change the President's Cup up.
So I have in here, and my thoughts are like, why doesn't this get the juice that the Ryder Cup gets? Because, and hear me out here, because I got this whole thought here, and maybe I just don't know any better. So I'd like to either be educated or someone hear my opinions on this. This is the United States against the entire world, not just Europe. So why is us versus Europe bigger, significantly bigger than us versus, in theory, better competition throughout the entire world? And I don't know why this doesn't get the juice that the Ryder Cup does. I love the team event stuff, but Micah, I don't know about you. I couldn't. Ryder Cup stuff, I will find time to watch. I'll whether I DVR it and watch it later or just watch from YouTube, just scroll through. I don't want to say I had no interest, but I was good with just watching highlights. And I don't know why this doesn't get the juice that the Ryder Cup does, or frankly even come close. I get it. USA versus Europe is the bigger one. It's the older one. All the traditions. It's got more stuff. I get all that, but there is no juice whatsoever behind the President's Cup, and I don't understand why we can't get it. Something does need to be fixed, to your point, but I don't know why, as a country, we can't get behind this, and I don't. So what do you got
Well,
any
first
thoughts
off,
as to why?
first off, I would say it's the tradition. I would say it's a tradition that the Ryder Cup has been going on for longer. It's also kind of like it's an extension to some aspect of the Walker Cup when America plays Great Britain and Ireland. So on the amateur side, these guys go and do that.
Right, but that's the Ryder Cup's not Great Britain and Ireland. It's all of Europe.
Right.
So you got
I
guys from
get that.
Germany, Sweden, Italy.
Yeah.
Like you got. So it's not just necessarily.
And I think
It's
the other
more. It's I can see it. I guess it's more the Walker Cup.
right.
But
And I guess the other thought is the Ryder Cup is played in 3 days, right? You got 36 in a sense on Friday, you got 36 again on Saturday, and then 18 on Sunday. With the President's Cup, you play 18 on Thursday, then you're done. You play 18 on Friday, and you're done. Then you have so it's a different format. But I also think this when a lot of these guys now have left to go play on Live, think about what Live it's a lot of worldly figures, right? Like Cam Smith's over there, probably would have made the team. Mark Leishman's over there, probably would have made the team. Abraham Answer is over there, probably would have made the team. Like we could go on a list of these world guys that really just jump ship. Mito Pereira, like named guys that we know of more so than some of the guys that were playing this week. I just think guys like that have gone over to Live it does take away a little bit from the name factor because on the European side, like they didn't change that rule in time that, in a sense, a ROM couldn't play. But now that they changed it to completely where moving forward, anybody can play. The live guys can play. So I think, and I'm hopeful that moving forward, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it's too long. Maybe there's too many days of
That's what
it.
I mean. Is it too much time in between? I don't really know. But again, I wasn't in a hustle to watch any of it. And I really am for the Ryder Cup. So I don't know what the answer is. I just know that it's kind of crazy to me that this can't get the juice when, like, we've talked about it. I don't know about a lot on air, but like we've talked, I like the team competition. I like the four ball, the alternate shot. It brings in all the strategy. Maybe they're not mic'd up as much as I'd like them to be. I'd like to hear those conversations with like who's doing what, like the strategy of it. But I don't know why this doesn't get the juice, and it's not. I don't know. It's sad. I think it is
No,
because it's a cool event. It really is.
no, I totally agree. Especially the spots they travel to and play.
And maybe that's it. Maybe this is maybe they're all laughing at the general public to be like, haha, we're just going to go to Montreal with some American buddies, our golfers, the wags, and we're just going to have a great time in Montreal. Maybe that's it because I've been to Montreal. Let me tell you, great time. But maybe that's it. I don't know. But there's got to be something. There's got to be something we're missing here because it should have juice and it just doesn't have any squeeze.
And I'll tell you what, like this one this year was very good, which is a sad thing to say. I think
Mm-hmm.
if you saw the final score, you'd be like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
But after Friday's drama and all the issues that were going on after Saturday and Tom Kim yelling and Scotty yelling back at him, like the drama was there.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, you would have needed the international guys to make a few more putts early on Sunday to make it a little more interesting, and then you and I would have been flicking on the TV because
Yeah.
from a like a headline type thing, they were there.
Yeah. They
The
were.
headlines were there.
I even texted my buddy who's just starting to get into golf, and he was like asking me about, he's super new into golf, so he doesn't know the difference between what foursome and four ball is. So I'm explaining to him like it's Norton's alternate shot or best ball. So like, I'm kind of explaining the formats to him, and then I had texted him Sunday morning and said, hey, I don't know if you get some time to watch today, but this is going to be an exciting day because this is how it works. Now it's mano a mano. Every 12 minutes somebody tees off, and it's just one-on-one. You win your match, you win your point. You split your match, split the point. So everyone's trying to get those last points, and the U.S. is kind of in a lead, but like again, if Team Europe gets hot and gets some momentum, it could be interesting. So I did text him to say, watch it, and it's fun to see someone get super into golf at this stage in life because they're literally like comes and asks me questions about it. Like he watched a little bit of Full Swing last year, but he didn't really know about it. Then he caught the bug over the summer, and I was like, go back, go rewatch Full Swing, and then come back. So like I'm waiting to hear what he has to say. So like it was just kind of cool to say, hey, this is what's going to happen, and it did happen. It is exciting format, but you have like I don't know, again missing some juice. So Mike, I think that's all we got for today. Yeah.
That's all I got for today, buddy.
No more secret announcements.
I do have a few that I do listen. I know you and I have talked off air. I got a couple things that are in my back pocket that I think you will thoroughly enjoy. But I will not be sharing this show.
Okay. Mike's told me he's waiting for a blank a day where we don't have much to talk about that he's going to whip some of these things out. So, folks, don't worry. I got a plan in my own pocket to help get them out. So that's going to be it for Mike and I today. We're going to send you to Thursday's interview, or make sure you stay around for Thursday's interview. Again, we had Max Grazerman on, and Max was awesome. He gave us a ton of time. He was super generous with his time. We go for over an hour, which was awesome. He shows us around his house. We're in his garage and in like seeing his golf set and stuff that he's got working. So that was really cool. It was just awesome to again, just to spend some time with him and a guy that we've been in contact with, a Jersey guy, talk to relatives. It was really cool to finally make that connection. I think we have a guy that would be, again, willing to come on the show in the future. It wasn't like a one and done. So I think we got along great, and it was a really fun interview. So make sure you stay tuned on Thursday for that when we have Max on. Till then, cheers.